Another demon said that swords are instruments of cutting and spears instruments of thrusting is a matter of course. Nevertheless, there are people who go too far in this principle and do not know the use of technique. There are techniques for cutting into the cutting and techniques for thrusting into the thrusting. When you don't know the use of a technique, your response to things will be off kilter. Though your mind is strong, when you turn your back on form, you will hit a point where you likely won't hit anything at all. When principle runs counter to technique, you will not attain what you should. It's like when people say, choose it, and it's not so bright and shiny. Talk about it, and it doesn't make as much sense. Just because you think a Zen monk is enlightened about the essence of mind, would you give him the reins of government and make him one of your generals? What would be the merit in that? Though his mind has no share of dust, cares, and illusion, he will be useless because his technique lacks maturity. Look, anyone who knows how to draw back a bow and release an arrow, but if you're not grounded in that way, your technique will have no skill. When you draw back the bow indiscriminately and let the arrow fly, you will neither be able to hit the target well nor sink your arrow into it with any force. Your intention must be absolutely exact, your form correct, and your chi must fill your entire body and be alive. You must not be contrary to the character of the bow, and you and the bow must become one. When it seems as though your spirit fills heaven and earth, you draw the bow and the distance between arrow and target is filled like an empty shell. Your spirit will be settled, your thoughts will not move, your mind will assume no mind, and you let the arrow fly. After releasing the arrow, you will be all the more fundamental self. You will be all the more your fundamental self. After hitting the object peacefully, put the bow away. This is the practice of the way of archery. If you practice in this way, you will send the arrow a great distance and penetrate the target with force. Bow and arrow are made of wood and bamboo, but when your spirit becomes one with them, there will be spirit in the bow as well, and its mystery will be the same. This is not something that can be gained by conscious ready wit, although you may have researched its principles beforehand. If it has not penetrated your mind, if the technique has not matured, and if you have not piled up great effort upon effort into training, you will not be able to grasp its mystery. If your intention is not true on the inside and your body are not correct on the outside, the frame of your sinews and bones will not be solid. If your chi does not fill your entire body, you will be unable to endure pulling with strength for long. To have your spirit unsettled and your chi stagnant, to use your conscious ready wit is not to be grounded in this way. When you use strength to control your pull of the bowstring, you run counter to the character of the bow. You and the bow are in opposition and become two. When your spirit does not pass back and forth between you and the bow, you will actually obstruct the strength of the bow and strip away its force. Thus, you will be unable to send the arrow far or even to penetrate the target with force.